Hello, this is the security tutorial for SS13. In this video I will be going over the basics of what you need to do to successfully be a security person, what to do at the beginning of the round, and all the mechanics in which you will be using on the items and the areas and stuff you'll be using to do your job. So, this is security. You enter it from, this is kind of the center area of the station. There's a map here. Can I look at it? No, it won't let me, but it gives you a vague idea of what the station is. The blue area is a bridge, and security is just above the bridge. You will spawn in security, so you won't really have to worry about finding it, but as a security officer you will be moving around the station a lot. So knowing how to get to security is pretty important. So, beginning of the round, what you want to do is you want to go straight into the lockers. In this room has lockers. These are all security officer lockers. You just want to pick one, just a random, and open it up, and your gear will be inside. So you can right click to see everything inside the locker, or you can do what I did, which is you can hold down Alt and then click on the locker or the tile, and it will show here everything that's inside the locker. Take your security belt, you want to put it on your belt place, and you want to see what's inside there. So you've got a stun baton, a flash, a flashbang, some handcuffs and some pepper spray. I'm going to say you want to take the flashlight as well, but that won't fit in your thing, you'll have to put it in your bag. There's also an armor vest. You start with an armor vest, not sure why you've got another one. And a helmet, you start with a helmet, not sure where you got another one. So, you also start with a, in your bag, you start with a stun baton, flash, and some handcuffs already equipped, so you now have 2 stun batons, 2 handcuffs, and 2 flashes. And you also have a smart gun. Sorry, disabler, it's not a smart gun. What does it do? Does this actually do anything? Oh. Apparently it doesn't have safety on it as well. Maybe that's just a TG station thing, which is the code base that we're using. Yep, yes, your gun has limited amounts of shots. I think it's only stuns, it doesn't actually harm anyone. You don't get weapons that actually harm people unless something bad has happened. So it's got about that many shots, and then you have to recharge it, and it'll take like a couple of minutes to recharge. Not a couple of minutes, it'll take like 20 seconds, if that, to recharge. And yeah, you're just gonna wait for this to recharge. Anyway, your job as a security officer is to respond to security threats, to uphold the law of the station, and to enforce search warrants and arrest warrants, which are signed by the head of security and the captain. You cannot arrest people or search people without a signed search or arrest warrant, and you generally can't really do much unless you are acting to prevent physical harm to another person. So, or if you're trying to stop someone from stealing something. If you see someone breaking into an area or destroying property or stealing something, you can apprehend them, but other than that you do need to have a signed warrant to apprehend them. So, let's say there's an engineer, and he deconstructed the wall to the captain's office, went inside and stole the nuclear authentication code. Obviously, that's not okay. So, someone on the station reports this to the security section, and the head of security is like, "That's not good," and he signs an arrest warrant. What do you do? So, to arrest someone, you need to place them in handcuffs. You'll notice that took about 4 seconds. I'm going to take these handcuffs off. If they move or do anything within those 4 seconds, handcuffs come off. So it's very difficult to handcuff someone. So usually in order to, and they'll be moving around, they'll be running around, and usually they don't want to get arrested, and it's a big hassle. This guy isn't moving around because he's an empty character. There's no one playing him. He's just someone I spawned in for this example. So there are a couple different ways to deal with this. First is a flash. This is probably the least brutality way of bringing someone in. Hit with a flash, you go down, and you cuff them. This doesn't work if they're wearing sunglasses. It doesn't work if they're on drugs. It doesn't work if they're well, this doesn't work if they're on some drugs. There are lots of situations in which a flash doesn't work. Also, you need to be right next to them, and usually you want to hit them a couple times, or a lot of the time they'll get up before the handcuffs are still on them. Like, if you know, I've flashed him like 4 times, and now he's staying on the ground a much longer time. So also, there's disarms. So let's say, let me figure out how to do this. Alright, so let's say he's got a flash, and let's say I'm now the person being arrested, he's a police officer and he has a flash. Flash can be I think that did it. Flash can be disarmed. So what do you do if you have your flash disarmed, or if they're wearing something which means that they can't be flashed, and you use your stun baton. Stun baton usually takes a couple smacks, and it's usually the stun baton is the most reliable of all your options. So you stun baton them, cuff them, and we'll get to what you do after that later. Something I forgot to mention, so I'm editing in now. The stun baton doesn't do anything unless it's turned on. You have to click it to turn it on. You can also press the Z key, which is faster. Also, the stun baton is used on the help intent, and it will stun people without harming them. If you use it on the harm intent, you'll heckin' kill them, so don't do that unless that's what you're trying to do. Flashbangs, I almost never use flashbangs, but they're hilarious. I'm going to see if... Oh yeah, something I forgot to mention. Yeah, I've completely forgot about these. You have your set classes, and they will tell you the roles of everyone in the station just next to them. If they are wanted, they will have a red W also there, and that means there is a signed arrest warrant on their name that you should. And if you see them, you need to chase them and bring them in. So, I think they also operate as sunglasses. So if you're wearing these, people can't flash you. And if there's a flashbang, I don't think it stuns us. Okay, yeah, it doesn't stun us. And the flashbang will just stun everyone in the room who isn't wearing sunglasses. But they're obviously single use. This thing you see when I bring up this menu and I kind of mess around with his items, we'll be getting to that in a bit. That is important for security. But, next thing is, I don't think I've ever used pepper spray, but you can stun people with pepper spray. It's got like a 3 tower reach, so if someone's far away, you can give it that way. You can also just create lots of different areas where people cannot stand. It's got a limited amount. There's places to refill it around sec if you run out. Usually it will be the stun baton that you use, or the flash. If they're usually it would be the stun baton or the flash. Usually you don't want to reach for your disabler. If you reach for your disabler, it's considered a escalation almost, and if you're trying to get someone, it's easy to accidentally miss, and it does actually take quite a few shots to get someone down with a disabler. Yeah, also I think it does a little bit of harm to them, so if you don't want to have to call medical to come and patch them up afterwards, you probably don't want to use a disabler. Okay, so let's say you found your dude, got him. What do you do with him? You're going to go to your grab, you're going to click on him, and that means you've now got him. And because he's handcuffed, he cannot break your grab. Usually if someone's grabbed you, you can just hit the resist button and it immediately breaks the grab. Because he's handcuffed, he can't move anywhere. He's until he gets rid of his handcuffs, he's not going to be able to do much. Notably, okay, I'm going to handcuff myself for a moment. Notably, if you are handcuffed, you can't use your hands at all. You can't even, okay, you can swap hands, but you can't pick up anything. You can get dragged around and not be able to do much about it. But if you have 1 minute where no one moves you, so he's going to stand there for 1 minute, you can get out of your handcuffs. So if you've cuffed someone and you leave them alone for a full minute, they will get out of their handcuffs. The way you stop that is you just move them. You just grab them and move them 1 square, and if they move at all, then the process is reset and they have to hit resist again and start the process all over again. But it takes a full minute, so you can just keep moving them, and as long as you're paying attention to them, they'll never get out of the cuffs. Just gonna wait for these cuffs to come off. There we go. So, you've got the guy. What you want to do is you want to bring back to security. And once he's at security, where is it on this station? It's in a different place on every station. You want to take him to interrogation. So you want to take him here, and you want to click on his body. You want to drag it to the chair. Actually, not there. You want to get him over the chair and drag him to the chair, and that will buckle him to the chair. And that just means he now needs to resist for 1 minute to get unbuckled from the chair, and then another minute on top of that to break out of the handcuffs. So it takes a long time. Everyone you arrest is, even if it's completely obvious that they broke the law, gets to be interrogated. You just kind of ask them what they did. Usually it'll be the head of security doing this, but he might get you to do it. You just ask him what he did, get their side of the story, and then the head of security will make a judgment for how long he will be in the brig. Or if he will, perhaps he might go to the perma brig, he might be executed, he might be might be exiled to Lava Land, which is a different, Lava Land's pretty rad. It's a other station, it's not a station, it's a planet, which you can send people to, and it's just full of hostile mobs, and there's no way to get back from it without help from security, and it's hilarious when you send people to it. So let's say he's going to the brig, click on the chair, which is going to unbuckle him, going to hold down, oh yeah, another way to pull people without grabbing them, this works if they're cuffed, is you hold down control and you just click on them. And then you're going to take them to a cell. So you've got 3 cells here. I think there's other cells, but here's a cell. Are these powered? Okay, no, I was just checking I turned the engine on correctly. So yeah, you want to take them here, and then you want to open that up. And there's prison clothes in here, and you need to take away all their items, because it is not difficult to get out of this cell if you have any tools whatsoever. So you need to make sure they have no tools. So you click on their character, you drag their character over towards you, and then you get this menu that you saw earlier. Now, this says every item that they have equipped on them. So like the head, they've got a hard hat. Their ears, they've got the radio headset. Notably, if you take the radio headset off, they can't use the comms. They can't hear the comms, they can't do anything with the comms. It's pretty disabling. Usually you leave them with their headset, because it's just kind of sucky if you're stuck in somewhere with that headset. So, and to take something off them, just click it. So you're just going to click all these things, is you now have nothing on them. Then you want to click on the thing, and find the place where it goes. So for this jumpsuit, it will be the, it's not the X, the uniform. The shoes, those will be the shoes. They are. I've put them in a skirt. Okay, I don't care. You want to put them in the correctly gendered thing. Yeah. Then you want to. Okay, yeah, I can't try that. You just want to get all the things in this pile and just put them in the locker. And they'll usually drop a lot of things. And hit the locker to close it. Then you want to either right click it and hit. How do I do that? Okay, you want to hold down the Alt key and you want to click on it, and that's going to lock it. And you want to buckle them to the bed. You want to take away the handcuffs. And bring the handcuffs with you, because they can use the handcuffs to break this glass. And then you want to leave, close the door by just clicking on that thing there. And click this, and then just set however long has been decided that they have. It starts, and when the timer goes up, that'll open, they'll be good to go. Also, if you need to go in there for any reason, maybe you forgot to get something off them, or it turns out they had something hidden in a place you didn't realise, which is something that happens. There's like dimensional pockets and some dumb mechanics. There's all in SS13. There's always going to be some kind of mechanic that you didn't expect. So if they're doing something that you didn't expect, you've got to go there, hit the flash, and that'll stun them. It's the same as flashing them, and they won't have sunglasses unless they snuck sunglasses in which case you've got to get out the stun baton and head in there. Yeah, that is how you arrest people. For the perma-brig, it's much the same. Just do it over here. Just do all the things you do over there. Then you just put them in here, and this is is this perma? Yeah, this is perma-brig. And there's just a lot more stuff they can do here. They can do hydroponics. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but they can grow stuff. They can do some cooking. They can. It's just stuff. If you've been brigged for the remainder of the round, that usually just sucks and it's really boring. And they can also talk to people here. So this is just a place to put someone if they're in the brig for the rest of the round that they can get up to something. Notably, the perma-brig is a lot easier to break out of than the single cells. So generally, the concept of the perma-brig is you're in the brig for the rest of the round, but at least you have some tools at your disposal to try and break out, and then that just more gameplay happens from there. So you just get in here, grab them, throw. Okay, that's okay. I don't know how to use that mechanic. So you grab them. You don't have to do this, I just find it fun. And you throw them in. And that's how you use a perma-brig. As for Lava Land, it's just much the same. You find the Lava Land shuttle, you put them in the Lava Land shuttle, and then this is not the Lava Land shuttle, that's an escape pod. Is this a Lava Land shuttle? No, it's not. That's open space. Yeah, there's a Lava Land shuttle somewhere around. You just put in the shuttle, you hit the go button. I think there's a Lava Land shuttle. Okay, so send someone to Lava Land. By the way, if you've watched all the way into this video, good job, because this is now just niche stuff that you probably won't use. So, send to Lava Land, just buckle them to the chair. Also, nothing. I think you just, if you want to give them like, I don't know, a pistol with one shot, put it in there. And you buckle yourself in, make sure you do buckle yourself in, or you will just get thrown about. Oh, sorry, it's Labour Camp, not Lava Land. I think Lava Land's just a nickname. Or I might be thinking of a different planet people could be sent to. But yeah. Make sure you do buckle in, or when the ship launches, you'll be dashed across the place. It's a land of lava. It's a lava land. Come on. Let's take them. Grab them 10. And stay out, you filthy animal. Just leave them there. And then they will probably die, because there are lots of nasty monsters here. I did buckle myself. Okay, there I go. Thought I was about to. Rude. And then you go off and just go do your own thing. Anyway, that's actually pretty comprehensive for security. Oh, one last thing I'll go over, and I am really reaching for things to go over, is hold on. An officer does not get to go into the armory. The officer does not have access to the armory. You need the head of security or a brig officer. I don't think we have a brig officer. You need the head of security to give you something from the armory. So that's... Hold on, I need to get myself a card that will allow me to go into the armory. So I now have a captain's security card. So in the armory has weapons that can do actual harm. Like this can be set to disable or kill. That's a shotgun. That's a cool looking gun. But yeah, there's lots of dangerous stuff in here. A lot of the time, people will be trying to break into here. Keep an eye out for that. But if the... Oh yeah, something I should mention. There are different codes, different alert codes in the station. They go from green to blue, and there's some other ones, but generally from green to blue to red. And depending on the alert station, the alert the station is currently at, you will have different privileges for what you can do. For example, at red alert, you don't need a warrant to search something. You can search anyone you like, and at red alert, you are allowed to carry these deadly items, whilst below red alert, you are not allowed to carry the deadly items. And the captain or the head of security, the captain actually, the head of security doesn't really have much of a say in it. Will be the one who decides what kind of alert the station is at, and that is the yeah, that was pretty comprehensive actually. That's pretty much all you really need to know to be able to play security officer.